Wow. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Dr. Linda H. Scruggs. Welcome you back to SHEROIC Speaks, where Black women speak out loud and unapologetically. Thank you for joining me this evening. Come on in, ladies. Please come on in. I am so excited to be with you. Where did time go? We're back here again. If you were with us on our very first episode last month, October the 2nd, I want to thank you for being with us and I want to thank you for coming back. Got a lot of great feedback and thoughts and love and recommendations from that episode. Keep coming, keep bringing them. If this is your first time joining Sheroic Speaks, ladies, welcome home. Welcome where Black women are showing up, where we're going to be showing up with our voices, where we're going to be talking out loud, and we're going to be living unapologetically in our own space and creating room for ourselves. Often we haven't done a good job at creating space for our own authentic self. So again, if this your first time with us, welcome home. You're in the right space. Here I talked about in our last episode, we talked about who Sheroic is about. It's about you and me. It's about Black women across ages, across identities, across health, across any experience. No topic is off duty as Sheroic Speaks. If you got a topic, let us know. Drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. We'll talk about that later. Nothing is off limits. We got to start unpeeling, digging deep in the experiences of Black women. And we're not just going to do that with me. I'm going to do that with you. This is not just a podcast. Sheroic Speaks is not just a podcast. This is a movement of Black women showing up together and creating space and creating truths and growing and learning and enjoying. It's all about joy as well. We laid a foundation last month. As I said, it's not just a podcast, it's a movement. And I'm really happy because when you come back, you're telling me we're moving in the right direction. I know it's only episode 2, but I'm still excited. If you're excited, drop some hearts, something in the chat. So when folks on the replay, they'll know that I wasn't the only one who was excited in this moment. So again, thank you for coming with us. Tonight, we're going to take a deep dive. Ladies, I heard you. Quite a few of you sent me messages on Messenger, on YouTube. Some folks emailed me, and they wanted to talk about this concept that I shared around a decision-making era. So those of y'all who missed it last month, go back and look at the replay. It's online. So tonight, I'm going to talk about the power of choice in the decision-making era. Last month we talked about, so let me just define it for folks who missed it. We defined it. I defined it because I don't know if it exists, but it exists in my reality. That there's a decision making, not just in my reality. I've learned some stuff from the thousands of ladies that I've had the opportunity to engage over the last 30 plus years. And there's a decision making era where we're making decisions, adult decisions that do impact our life. Good or bad, there are consequences to every decision we make. Early on, I talked about when we're children, many of us didn't grow up making decisions. Many of us were part of that space where kids didn't have an opinion. We was told what to do, and we did not develop the skill of making decisions and trusting the decision through error without penalty. So even if we made a decision, if somebody didn't agree with it, we was penalized. I talked about in the last episode, that's the challenge with the Gen Zs and the millennials. Their generation was brought up with given choices and information and the skill to make decisions. Don't mean that they did it good. Don't mean that life didn't interrupt it and it created challenges. So tonight, we're going to take a deep dive because we're going to learn to talk in our truth. We're going to talk about Black women have always made choices. We've always had to make decisions, even when we didn't know it. Often we didn't make decisions, often because we had needed to. We often make decisions around survival. Many of us did not have the freedom to just make a good decision, a good choice. It was about survival. And survival can be from a lot of things. It could have been from our environment. It could have been our work. It could have been our partnership. It could have been our children. It could be ourselves. Sometimes we show up as the predator in our own lives. So however, we've always made these choices. We've always made these decisions. We have not always made them in a space of freedom, in a space that even if I make an error, I'm not penalized. I don't have to beat me up, and I don't have to accept others in doing that. So tonight we're going to take that conversation and we're going to talk about how do we honor our choices in our health and our peace. I'm on this peace thing, guys. What does peace look like? What does peace taste like? As well in our purpose. Whether we are 21, 41, 61, 81, we're always constantly asking, are we remaking ourselves? Are we repurposing? Are we DIYing ourselves? And we're going to talk about what does that look like. And we're going to talk about good, bad, or indifferent in the process. I'll tell you, ladies, I'm going to need y'all to work with me tonight. I'm going to send y'all down into the chat. I'm going to send y'all to send some messages. I see y'all saying hello. I appreciate it. This is participation. Tonight, I need y'all to participate with me. All right. Good evening. First of all, when I talk about choice, I mean agency. So I'm gonna give you some words and I'm gonna try to define some of it. So when I talk about choice and I'm talking about agency, I mean the freedom to make decisions for our own selves, not from pressure, not from guilt, not from self survival, not from power, but about power, about peace, about purpose. You hear that? Not from power of some entity or someone else, but about me owning who I show up with. And how do I design that power? And is the power appropriate for the experience, for the individuals I'm showing up with? And what's my motive? But a lot also is about choice and peace. What do I do with this space? What do I do? I need peace. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk some more about purpose, as I said, because true choice only exists. Listen to this, lady. You ready? True choice only, true choice only exists when we feel safe. When we survive and we ain't feeling safe, we got our guns pulled. We got our knives out. We got our switchblades out. Some of y'all that remember Come Back Charleston Blue, you had your straight razor out. But when we feel safe enough, we'll make different types of choices for ourselves. So let's break it down. How do we get safe? When we're talking about choice, it's an act of selecting between, let me give you an example. Today I rested. I had a busy day, had a lot going on. I'm caregiving. But I took a moment and I chose to rest. In the midst of busyness, in the midst of the to-do list that I had, I chose to rest. Agency gives me the power to make freedom and be okay with my decisions that don't match someone else's program. Agency gives me the internal authority to make my choice be first place. No guilt, no coercion, no fear. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about agency and choice. How do we take guilt, coercion, and fear out of us putting us first? Now, those things on my list, I'm going to get to probably most of them before I go to sleep tonight. And even the ones I don't get to tonight, they're going to be handled in the appropriate time. But how do I knew I needed some rest? I needed some peace time. And rest, I didn't go upstairs and lay down and take a nap. I just turned all the digital stuff off. I just sat there for a few minutes in my living room and enjoyed the quiet. That was my rest. That was my peace. I just wanted some quiet space to slow everything down. And I took about 10, 15 minutes. I didn't need an hour today. If you need an hour, take an hour. But understand what else is in that space. I didn't have no guilt, no nothing about it. We have to feel safe. And we have to make sure that we can rest and do what we need to do for ourselves as we're doing so much for others. And not worrying about what somebody else think. Yeah, I had something I could have turned in at that 10 minutes. I'm okay. I can prioritize me. That's wonderful. Let's talk about a little bit in a broader context of Black women. I'm going to go back to the word agency again. I'm using that term. And as we're making a dive in this profound truth. So when you're talking about putting agency in your world, we're talking a deeper dive. And where many of us as Black women, we choose through survival. We choose often strength over softness. It's time where they say I gotta be strong, but I really want to be soft. Or if I appear too strong and I want to be soft, sometimes the universe requires that. That's not where I want to show up. That's a requirement. And again, I told you I ain't feeling safe. So it's hard to be soft if I'm not feeling safe. Sometimes we choose silence when speaking truth may cost us something. Ladies, raise your hand. Have you ever not said it because you know it's going to cost you, or you may not have been willing to accept the cost? So I just be quiet this time. But I really want to say something. I know they wrong. I know they hooking and jooking, or they just lying, or they're creating harm. I'm raising my hand because I chose to be silent when I should have said something, or my inner self was screaming. But sometimes, because we take care of other people, or we worried about how someone's going to take it, when we should scream, we choose silence. Sometimes silence is needed, but it's not needed when you know that you're supposed to be screaming. It's not needed when you know they're lying. It's not needed when you know they're doing harm. It's that unapologetic space, and we want to make our way into that space. Um, we choose, wow, we choose to hold everybody else together. We wrap our arms around, we mommy, we auntie, we niecey, we granny. We everybody for everybody, and often we are nobody for ourselves. And some of us will look around when we need somebody for us, ain't nobody hugging on you. So how do we, because we're nurturers by design, we are nurturers. But I want you to know that it's okay as you're making your way through your decision-making era to make you a priority, to design space for you to have choice, to design space were systems often that we create. We haven't even created space for us. We live daily in systems. We know this. We know this. Y'all know this. Y'all absolutely know this. Often, many systems that we deal with every day won't design for us. And they okay with that. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I told you about choosing softness when we wasn't safe. Often that harmed us. We was taught that even through TV, they taught us soft women get it. Soft women gets them to turn to our attention. But it also put us in a position where many times we weren't safe with ourselves, with a partner, within the workforce, on the bus. Often I want to talk a little bit even about even in our families. Many of us have had to choose a false something to maintain something that we don't even know what we was holding on to. Have you ever I'm gonna ask that question in a moment. I'm gonna ask you that question in a moment. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I want to go back for a second, talking about being soft in the right places, about being silent when speaking carried consequences. Am I the only one who was silent, and even my silence cost me something? So I chose to be silent because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I didn't want them to think that I was mad or I didn't agree. Or I was afraid that there was a consequence that I was going to have to pay because that person may have had authority or perceived power, and my silence still cost me something. Y'all had that experience? So what I do, that's what the old folks say, if you do and if you don't. So if agency and choice is a do or you don't, you might as well do. That's what unapologetic is, y'all. So if I do or if I do, it's the same outcome. I might as well be okay with me. I might as well make sure that I'm showing up in the universe that is true to me, that is true to those who I support and I believe in. At some point, somebody has to change the wave. If that old way ain't working, why do we keep doing it? This is like insanity, guys. It's the same concept. If it ain't working and you keep getting on the same hamster wheel and you ain't going nowhere, get off the wheel. Jump off the wheel and reassess what decisions and how those decisions are impacting me and those in my nucleus around me. The hemisphere of folks with me. Are they going with me? Are we riding together? What choice? How is your choice? However you show up. I'm not the leader in everything that I do. I know how to follow. So even as a follower, I got choice. As a leader, I got choice. As just somebody in the bandstand, I got choice. And how do we make sure that we are in our decision making, we're utilizing the tools, and we're taking care of ourselves. We're also making sure that we're not utilizing fear. We're not utilizing coercion to make other people feel okay. And we still not living out our truths. It's okay. I'm gonna ask y'all another question. Y'all go in the chat and tell me this one. Don't y'all be lying. I'm looking at the chat. Don't be lying. Have you come to the place yet? And maybe it's not everywhere. Maybe it's just in certain spaces, but have you entered this space at all? That you're okay with other folks not being okay with how you show up? Are you okay with other folks not being okay in how you show up. It's that old thing. You may have met me in this space, but now I'm on this step. You want me to stay back there. Maybe I was apologetic. Maybe I did be quiet. But as I'm moving and I'm learning how to take the power of this decision and how to take power and the authority that's been given to me and to shape this space, it may not be the person they used to know. And we got to learn and be okay with other people being uncomfortable with us being comfortable with them being uncomfortable with me. And I'll tell you already, when we gave the tagline to SHEROIC Speaks, where Black women speak out loud unapologetically, people asked me what that meant. I told them, get on the ride, and they're going to see. I already had started doing it. We ain't just started this. Over here at Ribbon, we've been unapologetic. We're not going to make excuses to do what we need to do. We're not going to make excuses because you're uncomfortable. Come on, go for a ride. That's what some of the folks going to have to do. So I'm choosing choice and agency over fear. Choice and agency over fear. I know many of us were taught that we had to take care of everyone. Many of us, we're taking care of our kids. We're taking care of our parents. We're taking care of our jobs. Again, I just want you ladies, I want you to just put y'all into the recipe. I want you to take care of you. Imagine if you took care of you 25% of how you take care of the rest of the world. What would that look like? What would that look like? Wow. I want to jump just a little bit, guys. But I do want you to know, I spoke to this early. You don't have to apologize when choosing peace over pressure. We talked about choice. I want to talk about peace. Don't apologize for peace. It's something that we all want. It's something that we desire, and it's something that our body needs. It's at some point, pressure is always, it's always something else to do. I was talking to one of the young women in my church earlier before this call, actually, for this conversation, and I was saying how over the last 30 years, learning has been in computers. You can Google this, you can YouTube or Safari that. When I was growing up, we still had the encyclopedia. We had to go down to the MLK library. We had to go through the card catalog. And it was only but so much that we could contain because we only had access to so much. But now in the computer world, and there's data out there, there are so many places to get information. We're overloaded. There's always something to do. It's always something to look at. It's one more text. It's one more email. It's one more. Y'all them Facebook reels. It's one more reel. It's always something to look at. It's always something to do. We got these phones that stalkers. They got email. They got text. They got I call it the stalker. It's the pressure. That is the pressure that social media puts around us, and we haven't found somewhere to have peace. That's why I told you, like today, I just turned all the digital stuff off for 10 minutes. What does that look like? And I'm telling my mind, because even you turn everything off, what happens? That mind start thinking. You go to lay down at night, and your mind start running and it's running, and you literally have to be there long enough. So in my 10 minutes, I'm telling my mind, I need you to slow down. I need you to empty out. I need you to create peace. I need to go to a place where there's nothing happening. I need to go into my inner cortex where nothing is happening because I need quiet space. I'm telling myself that. I want to take away the pressures because I need peace. Ladies, we will burn ourselves out, not from the job, but from ourselves. We have to take care of this body. We have to take care of our universe. I am my universe. It's my responsibility. It's not My husband's responsibility to take care of my peace or to provide me peace. It's not my children, my grands. It's not my friends. It's not church. It's your responsibility to own how do you show up. How do you remove the pressures and put peace peace in the place. You have to do that. You don't have to justify it. You ain't got to apologize for it. You just got to do it. That's all you got to do is do it. You got to do it. You deserve it. When you find peace, then you start hearing and you started getting to those other elements about purpose. And how important is that? We all want purpose. I can't tell you your purpose. Your purpose today is not the purpose possibly you had last year or 5 years ago. You got to find peace places with the universe. I find it in prayer. I find it in meditations. I find it when I command the universe to stop moving for me. Question. When was the last time you really was quiet? That meant nothing was moving up here. It wasn't cluttering. And you just was quiet with the universe. I want to talk a little bit in this decision-making era. I got to talk about health. We got to talk about how Black women, we've learned to measure health by survival. I have survived. I share with some folks. Some folks may know, some don't know. I'm a woman diagnosed with HIV. Over 35 years now. I'll be 35 in 2 weeks, I think. And that's not peace. That's not peace. That's absence of sickness. I haven't been sick with that diagnosis. And I don't allow that any health issues, keep me stuck. In the presence of my diagnosis almost 35 years ago, I had choice. I made choices. And I'm glad of the choices that I made. They weren't easy. So whether it's HIV, whether it's diabetes, whether it's rheumatoid, whether it's sickle cell, breast cancer, any cancers, all health comes with choice. And those are diagnoses where maybe we don't have choice over. But they're also around preventive health, Black women. I'm talking about choice again, because we'll get other people to the doctor. We'll make sure you take your antibiotics. We'll make sure that you got your nasal spray. We'll make sure you are good. But what are we doing about our own health space? I want to take a break and talk again. I'm not apologizing for health spaces. I want us to be sure that we're making and we're modeling positive health space for our younger women. That we're modeling this for our younger men, for our partners. We're modeling this for other women. Ladies, we're leading in everything. We lead in education. We lead in business. We have more entrepreneur opportunities, but we also lead in stress. We're also leading, we're real close on that heart disease thing, y'all. And we're not monitoring us in the same factor that we're monitoring others. We're surviving. We're struggling and we're surviving through this health space. And we don't have to. I think it was last week, I did a heroic moment and I talked about breathing. I talked about creating space for us in our health space, in our daily space, to remember to breathe. Breathing gives us time to think about what we need to do. Breathing gives us a moment to reposition. If you're dealing with health issues, and in the new year, we're going to talk a lot about health, about different chronic diseases. We're going to talk about preventive health. We're going to talk about fitness across the lifespan fitness. Whether you can, my bishop ran the Marine Marathon, 26 miles, a couple weeks ago. That ain't my dream. That ain't my dream. We ain't got to have the same dream, but we all got to move. So we're going to talk about movement and fitness in the new year with intention. We're going to have some challenges. I'm going to challenge y'all. I'm going to challenge me. This is about me too, y'all. Have you been to the doctor this year? Have you had your well woman's health check this year? Have you had a mammogram this year? Have you monitored your glucose properly this year? We'll look at other people's stuff, but what are we doing in our own spaces? I'm charging you, ladies. I'm charging you. This week, that doctor's appointment that you don't want to make, that dental appointment that I don't want to make, let me raise my hand, that I absolutely know I got to make it. I'll tell you what, ladies, before we come back, I will have been to the dentist. I've done my well women checks. I've done my mammograms. I've done all them screenings, but I need a dental appointment. So by the time we come back in December, I will tell you. I will tell you I will have been to the dentist or made that appointment. I'm gonna try to make it before then. But if they can't see me before then, I will have made that appointment. Because I'm only gonna charge you with what I'm willing to do. And I hate going to the dentist. I got dental trauma. But I know I need to go because if I don't go, something else is gonna happen. So let's keep talking. Let's keep talking. Let's breathe for a minute. Just do a quick deep breath. Give me a break. I'm going to take a sip. Y'all breathe. I'm going to take a sip because y'all been talking. That's ginger ale, y'all. Get out your head. I'm going to take a couple of minutes. We're doing good. I want to talk about choice in relationships. Ladies, one of the hardest places to make healthy choices is in our relationships. That could be family, that could be friends, that could be our partners, our co-workers, and even ourselves. Have you ever not liked yourself? Have you ever gotten on your own nerve? I know I'm not the only one. That's why I don't mind telling y'all stuff. I done been therapy long enough, and I've been counseling and coaching people long enough to know I am not the only one had got on my own last nerve. You can raise your hand. I know you too. Okay. But that's about relationships, right? And we do that, right? We are nurturers, right? We stay in relationships. We want things to be well. We want everybody to be okay and feel filled up and be happy. And we want to give people joy because we get joy when they get joy. I ain't joyful till they joyful. Lot wrong. That's the old apologetic way, right? But often we end up empty. We got them false smiles, them fake grins, that fake glow, because we using somebody else's energy. Let's have some real talk. Let me ask y'all a question. Um, all right, I see y'all over here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Um, have you have you ever stayed it now? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Have you ever stayed in a relationship? Romantic, professional, or even a family relationship long after you stop feeding us. Have you ever stayed in a relationship when you know that thing was deader than dead, done dead? And that's family, that's friends, those are partners or lovers. Have you ever did that? Mm-hmm. I know I have. I know I have. And I I'm horrible with that. I'm so glad I got a husband. I don't know about nobody else in the universe. Because I was stay in relationships. I never redated nobody. Because I stayed in the relationship long enough that by time I did leave, that thing had been buried 3 times and was 22 feet under. So I never needed to go back. Family relationships. I remember, and I'm not apologetic for this. I remember a time where I silently separated from my family. I ain't have to come in there and cuss nobody out. I ain't have to make no dun, dun, dun. I ain't coming to no more holiday dinners. I didn't have to make them announcements. I just didn't come. I just didn't come. I may have took a plate, threw in addition to, here y'all go. I may have said I'd be back. I ain't say I was coming back today, but I know y'all wanted that peach cobbler, so I dropped it off. Sometimes because we're taking care of the rest of the world, if we're honest, y'all will raise your hand. We didn't want to disappoint nobody. We didn't look at our disappointment. We just want folks to be okay. We want folks to be okay with us. I love it, Myra. Myra said I was in one for 3 years by myself. Yes, I love it. Staying there too long, that is hard. You deserve more. Now I ain't telling y'all, don't y'all go nowhere and say Dr. Scruggs told me to leave. I'm telling you, make decisions. And you have a plan. What are you doing? What gives you joy? What is it that brings you beauty? And I'm not talking about this outward beauty. What is it that speaks to your soul? That kind of beauty. Who you started in a relationship. My husband's in the studio with me tonight, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something we used to do, and I may need to do it again. When we first got married on our anniversary, I learned this in counseling of the people. I would say to him, "Has anything changed in our relationship?" And sometimes you have to go back. What's changed? And if it's changed, let's talk about what the change is, so we'll know how to go forward. Sometimes we have been quiet or we've been silent, and now we're in a space where we need to talk. You may have to say that I need to talk. Can we have a conversation? Or I know it's been like this, but you know what? We moving forward. I really want us to have a conversation. Can we do it like this? Bringing relationship into a dual space, or if it's a family, into a triad. How can you and your family make informed decisions in a decision making era together as adults? If you have siblings, your siblings and you ain't the same siblings that was in your mama, daddy, or TT house. My siblings, we're not the same little girls who was in that house. We're grown women. We got grown women stuff. And I ain't never like how you did that. I don't like that. Don't do that no more. Because when you do that, that's what causes this. I want to be in a relationship with you. But I have to be true to my truth. And I give you the opportunity to be true as well. That is mutuality in a relationship. Relationships change. People change. Knowledge gives us information, experiences take us to a space, and how do we make decisions? I love it, Robin. Robin said, I learned how to lovingly release people for my own peace. I love that, Robin. Everybody may not be okay with it, but are you okay with it? I don't have a whole lot of friends no more. I don't even say and people don't like it when I say it. Because I didn't need a crowd. I don't need a crowd. I need a few. Because I'm vulnerable if it's too many. I started building up walls. But if I'm around a few, if I have few people that I know I can be naked, I can strip in front of and tell this truth. I told folks last month this podcast is interesting for me. I'm extremely uncomfortable. I was extremely uncomfortable, and I invite you to do it. I don't want you to stop doing it. Last month when we hung up, I had all these messengers and messenger and comments and folks on YouTube. I was uncomfortable, but I decided to say that I understand the assignment. So in my decision-making era, I didn't shut the door. I opened the door wide open. I responded to everyone. I wasn't being people pleasing. I said yes. I said no. I can't do that. And somebody did invite me to come down there to Miami, but I told her I couldn't do that. Again, making decision, understanding that we have choices. We get to celebrate our truth. We get to celebrate who we are. We get to celebrate what we bring into this world. Relationships are hard. If anybody ever tell you, oh, I'm a counselor, oh, I'm this, I'm gonna fix your relationship. No. How do relationships work? Regardless of the dynamics, you work at it, you work at it some more, you work at it some more, and then you start all over with number one, you work at it some more. If both or three or five or 25, if everybody in the relationship is willing to work at it, the relationship can work. But if you're not willing to work at it, it's not going to work. And if you find yourself, you the only one working, I ain't got no comment for that. You already know the answer. Peace. If I'm building a house by myself, am I really building it with other people? Relationships, whether it's co-workers, here at Ribbon, we have a policy. We ain't a perfect place to work. Why? Because we here. I'm here. Right? But I love that we create a culture that you can come and we're all part of this space. One of my staff, the other week I was cleaning up. We was in the storage unit cleaning out the storage unit. Because it's not always about titles, it's about relationship. We're coming here all building Ribbon together. You joining us on these podcasts, you're helping us build this space, this movement for Black women. I love it. I'm gonna keep going. I know I only got a couple of minutes. Where does the time go? I want to spend just 2 more minutes. No, a little bit more than 2 minutes. Let me not lie to y'all. Right? Sisters, I want to talk to you about the current reality and choices. I said this earlier. Every day we wake up and we have to make choices in this world. And many of the things we're making choices on, it wasn't even designed for us. There's misogyny, there's race, there's prejudiceness, there's phobias, there's stereotypes, all of that intersecting with who you are, wherever you are. Realities. Now, I love one reality. Y'all saw the election results. Women are showing up in political places. Women are showing up. We're pushing through. Why? Because that's what women do. We push. But that ain't what I ain't talking about. I'm not talking politics tonight. I'm not talking politics. I'm going to try not to talk politics. Our realities is, as much as we show up in a decision-making era, I'm going right back to where I began. What are we doing with our peace? What are we doing with our purpose? And what are we doing to take care of ourselves? Self-sustaining. What are we doing? What do you need to do? You have the answers to that. I can't answer that. What do you need to do in this decision-making era that realigns you in the path, in the direction that you want to go? You have to make those decisions. You have to take time and be still. Separate yourself. And sometimes Mara said it, that may be being alone. And that don't mean you got to break up relationships, families, and all that. That means that we grown. Find a space. Go in the corner. Get a corner. Sit in your car, on the back of the bus, on the subway, and say, I am going to identify this time for peace, purpose tunneling, because I'm at the tunnel to get to purpose. And do you know sometimes that the things we go through get us to purpose? Who would imagine, if you just think back over your life, Regardless of where you are and what you're going through, who would imagine that you would have survived that? Who would imagine all that led to this? Who would imagine? Who would imagine that your ashes? Who would imagine that the house burning down? Who would imagine that diagnosis? Who would imagine your car being repossessed? Who would imagine they touched me? Would have led to where you have found yourself or the path that you're going on. I love telling folks that I went into drug recovery in April 12th, 1988. If the Lord would have opened up the curtain and let me see the next 30 years, I would have not went in recovery. It would have scared the dickens out of me. I would have said, no way! He didn't let me do that. He only allowed me enough to make a decision, and that was to stop for the day. He didn't show me behind the curtain. He just showed me there was a curtain. It's not let's make a deal. It's a choice. You don't get this curtain, or that curtain because you don't know what's behind those curtains. But what you do know is that you have the curtain to take care of yourself. You have a curtain to turn around. I wish I could turn around. To turn around and make the choices that you need. I got to get ready to go, y'all. I'm so excited. I want us to intentionally be the culture shapers of Black women. I want us to tap into our ancestors. Y'all know Black women. I was seeing something on Facebook. Somebody was saying like Egyptians want Black people. I'm like, isn't Egypt and Black? In Africa, they Africans. From the beginning of time, Black women have been phenomenal. And Maya Angelou didn't come up with that. That's who we are. All she did was put it into verbiage. All she did was put it into a poetic space that we would embrace. Phenomenal women. You are phenomenal because you're heroic. We have to tap into that part. When we begin to tap into that part of purpose, that we was created divinely in this universe, this beautiful melanin skin, this beautiful shapely, our lips, our cheeks, our nose, our breasts, our hips, all of that, our intellect, our intuitive knowledge. Because you ain't got to have a PhD and a QQT. Some of us have intuitive knowledge. And I ain't even gonna talk about the sisters that got common sense. Because I'm going to tell you, some book smart people ain't got no common sense. So intuition, knowledge, however you get it, is who we are. And that is how we make decisions. It's not an umption. It's not a something. It's part of how we were created. We were created in full purpose to bring purpose into this universe. We are the birthers. Whether you have not vaginally birthed, but your spirit should be birthing. So you may not have a child that you vaginally pushed out, but your spirit birthing. Because that's what women do. We birth through our spirit spaces. Being a mother don't mean I had a baby. Being a mother means I'm willing to pour into others. I'm willing to nourish others. But to do that most efficiently, I have to learn to pour into myself. That's why we're waiting for them to come back and take care of us. We're looking at the stages. Oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. Well, you poured everything into them. And now they're so far away. Ladies, I want us to come back and I want us to begin to pour. No, I ain't got no glass of water. I ain't going to pour no water on this headdress. I want us to begin to pour into ourselves. I want us to begin to pour peace. I want us to begin to pour joy. I want us to begin to pour wellness. I want us to begin to pour resources. I want us to begin to pour change. I want us to begin to be very intimate with ourselves about our needs, our desires, and how shall we obtain them. I want us to do that. That's your homework. Over the next few days, over the next month, no matter how heavy life gets, every day, I want you to find a moment, whether it's a minute, 10 minutes, or 60. And I want you to pour peace and be still. I want you to make a conscious decision that you're important in your day. I want you on your to-do list. If you one of those folks got a checklist, put it on your checklist. You like me, I have on my calendar at work. I block out times to do the work. I need to add a spot on my calendar. Linda, breathe. Linda, find peace. I want you to pour into yourself and be still. That's a homework task I want you to do. I know it's going to be hard. The universe is going to try to distract you and say, you don't have time. That's crazy, Linda. Nobody got no time for that. You don't have time to find yourself in the emergency room. But if you're sick, that's where you'll go. Finding peace and allowing the universe to minister to you in stillness is like a spoonful of medicine. It's like a spoonful of medicine. It makes it go down easier. We desire it. We have to obtain it. Ladies, we come to the end of the night. I got to get ready to go. I can't go without doing a raffle though. Do me a favor, where you at? Drop your name in the chat. I want folks who are on the replay. This is only for folks who are live with us. Drop your name in the chat, and the staff is going to text me who the winner is in the chat, in the comment. Drop your name right now. Let folks know. This raffle is not just about giving stuff away. It's about showing up. It's about us knowing that you showed up and us being able to give you something. Wanda won last week. Wanda, y'all, this is our new Sheroic shirt. Y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Um, Wanda won last month. Remember, we said you only can win every 3 months. We got to share the love around. We got to share it around. We know some of y'all more luckier than others, right? So every 3 months, you only can win every 3 months. Drop it in. We gave Wanda a whole package of goodies. The shirt was only one thing that was in there. I see y'all dropping y'all names in the chat and the comments. Please do that, staff. We have a little wheel. Y'all can't see it. See, they're dropping your names in the wheel, and it's called Name of Words. If you can play that game with your family, I love it. It's Name of Words. It's on a line game. And to drop your name. We want to have a winner in just a couple minutes. I'm going to do that live. Just keep dropping your names. I'm gonna keep talking. I want you to choose peace. I want you to choose peace. I want to speak to you, sisters. I want you to make sure that over the next 30 days, you're implementing the decisions that you have to make. Am I doing this for the right purpose? Am I being silent when I need to speak? Am I not finding a peace that I need? Is things I need to turn off? What can I do? That's right, y'all. Keep dropping it in the chat. I love it. I want you to create an atmosphere. That's why I really want y'all to keep dropping in the chat. Drop in the chat. You only gotta drop it once. They're catching it. They're catching your names. We're gonna as soon as they send me a text, I'm gonna cut it off in about 30 seconds so that they can send me a text and we can keep going. Um, I want to thank y'all in advance. I love this. I love this. I want you to reach out to another woman. I want you to speak peace into somebody else's life. That's your second piece of homework. I want you to tell another woman, another black woman, that you're doing something different. You're going to be in your decision making era. You're going to learn how to live in purpose. You're going to have to live in peace. And you're going to have to learn how to take care of yourself. You're going to do good for yourself. That's important. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You're charged to do that. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut off the list. I'm gonna cut it off so folks can text me and let me know who's the winner is. The last thing I want to do with you guys before we leave tonight, I want us to breathe. Always, I always want you to breathe. Keep breathing. Do me a favor, go with me for a minute. Y'all, they done cut off the names, right? Stop putting your name in there. They're spinning the wheel. Um, Repeat after me or write this in the chat. Either one. Either one. Repeat after me or write this in the chat. This week, I'm challenging you that I will not fear my decisions. I will not apologize for conscious decisions that I make. I will take small choices to get big results. It's a process. If you don't know how to make decisions, start with the small pieces, but give yourself grace to make action. Give yourself grace to make the action. All right, I got the name. I'm going to finish this and I'm going to tell you who the name of the winner is. Um, Often we want to jump when really we're just hopping. Decision making and coming to a space where peace, purpose, and myself is real, it takes time. If you've been living in somebody, what's the word? The people pleasing or enabling or taking care of you breathing through a tube for somebody else, to take and begin to breathe your own oxygen will take time. Give yourself grace. But you have to become active. You have to do it. This week, do me a favor. Drop it in the chat or say it. Say your name. I, Linda, I choose peace. I tell myself these kind of affirmations daily. Sometime in the midst of stuff, I, Linda, I choose peace. I, Linda, choose to declutter my mind. I, Linda, you have to speak this into the universe so you're really convincing yourself. I ain't that old, her, and that's okay. Because I'm learning. I love it. I am not fear. I am not fearful. I am wonderfully and creatively made. I was made with choice. I choose peace. All right, I choose peace. I'm so excited. Um, I'm so excited. All right. So we have a raffle winner. I need a drum roll. I need a drum roll. I need a drum roll. So the winner tonight, y'all ready for a drum roll? I have is Robin Alexander. I said something about Robin earlier. Robin Alexander, we're going to ask you to please send an email to Sheroic at ribbon number 3 should be.org, ribbon number 3.org. Sheroic, if one of the staff, I know staff is online, drop it in the chat. Sheroic is Sheroic. Oh, there it is. It's on the screen. Sheroic ribbon. Sheroic at ribbon number 3.org. Robin, please, we're going to have a connect with you to get you a lovely Sheroic package. Ladies, don't leave us. You may not have won tonight, but you know what? We're coming back next month. We have some more things going on. We really want to thank everybody as we're closing. I want to thank all of you for showing up. I want to thank my team, the Sheroic team, for showing up. We have a special producer tonight with us. Lakeisha, thank you from I think it's BTF Collective, who's backstage helping me tonight. Thank you very much. I want to thank all of our partners, our sponsors, Vive Healthcare, Gilead Sciences, the Ribbon Center of Excellence entire team, and again, all of you for showing up with us tonight. I'm Dr. Linda H. Scruggs. I am Sheroic. And if you would go out with me, I want you to say it. I want you to type it. I am Sheroic. You are Sheroic. Sheroic is you. You are Sheroic. Please remember, don't ever allow someone to take your power. You are Sheroic. Please drop it in the chats. Be Sheroic. Ladies, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please tell someone, come visit us. Congratulations. That's right. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next month, everybody. First Thursdays. Remember, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific time. I got something special for y'all next month on December the 4th. All right, I'm gonna be off site. I got something special going on. And I love you and I look to see you then. Remember, drop it in the chat for me. Own it. I am Sheroic. You are Sheroic. Have a great evening, ladies. Goodbye.